Hi and welcome back to Joe Talks Cars and welcome to another video. Welcome to something that isn't Porsche related. Welcome to the Yaris GR. So James, who has the GT3, who you'll have seen in a previous video, has brought his car down today for me to have a little drive of. We've been talking about this for a while, it's just been finding some time to meet up. And today, I've finally been able to get down and have a little drive of it on these amazing roads around near Sledmere House. So first of all, we'll have a little walk around the car. I'll show you some of the details. If you haven't already seen these sort of things before on YouTube, I'm sure you have. They're very widely covered, but we'll have a little walk around the car, jump in, and go for a little drive. So what we've got here is a Yaris GR. It's got the performance kit on it, so that comes with I think it comes with these unique wheels, but it comes with diffs on both sides. It's got a carbon fibre roof, which is really cool. And I think you'll agree the car looks absolutely stunning in this black colour. I think one thing that you don't see on pictures of these, and I think what you don't notice on the road, is just the width of it. It's a very, very wide car. It's very tall as well. When you sort of park it next to the Porsche, it looks kind of unusual. It's not a small car like you'd imagine. It's not small, but yeah, the width on this front part, huge intercooler down there and GR badging everywhere. And yeah, I think you'll agree, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous. Inside, it's got the most gorgeous seats. These things are like sitting on a sofa. I mean, I'm used to the Porsche, and the Porsche seats aren't the best, but these things are really nice and chunky. I can only imagine they're quite heavy, but they are really, really comfortable to sit in. Driving position is fabulous, as you'd imagine. The only one thing I have got a problem with is this. So the screen and the rearview mirror, the gap, I mean, it's tiny. I don't think you can even tell, but I can't even get a hand between them. So it does kind of impede your view when you're driving along. It's really, really strange, but yeah, it doesn't come with sat-nav. It comes with Apple CarPlay though, but I do feel like this screen should have been more down there. It's got a little back seat, very difficult to get in and out of, but again, it's a very usable car. Sort of GR badging everywhere. World Rally Championship, even though it never competed. It was developed for it though. But yeah, stop-start, keyless go, analog dials, which I really, really like, none of that digital rubbish. And yeah, it's just a very, very nice, pleasing cabin. One thing I really do like is this pillarless door, so you've just got a piece of glass. Really cool. And that's what makes this thing quite unique. It's not a Yaris, but it shares a couple of parts with the standard Yaris. The rest of it is totally bespoke. And yeah, I think it's a very, very, very nice looking car. But yeah, without further ado, I think we'll get in, go for a little drive and test out what this car is like. Right, so this is the first drive in the Yaris GR. Thank you so much to James for bringing this car down to me. You'll probably remember that last time I drove one of James's cars was the GT3, which was an amazing day. And he's brought this along, which is his daily driver. These cars get so much praise for their handling and their power, and I can confirm all of that is true. It's got auto blip on this manual gearbox, and it's got tons of power. Oh, it's powerful. I think it's probably as powerful, if not more, than my Porsche. Definitely feels as quick as a Golf R that I've driven very recently. And it sounds really nice too, although there is a little bit of artificial noise being pumped in. It carries along the road extremely well. It's a really strange car to actually sit in. You feel like you're quite high up. These seats are quite comfortable, and you feel like the windscreen is being blocked by this rearview mirror. James did say that there is actually an option to have that removed and moved up slightly, which should make a difference, because it really does actually block the view between the sat-nav screen and the rearview mirror. This car is fitted with the performance pack, so that gives you limited differentials on front and rear, and you can adjust that. So you can have more of a bias towards the rear in sport mode, meaning it will slightly drift. It's got some interesting things on the dials down here. There's like a bar gauge for your boost, which is really, really cool. Makes you feel like you're in something quite special and not just a regular Yaris. All-round visibility is pretty good as well. You can really imagine daily driving this car. And the fuel economy of 36 to the gallon is pretty good. God, it pulls like a train. It's such a laugh to drive. I think that's the main thing with the Yaris. It's such good fun. There's cars with more power out there, there's cars with bigger engines and make more noise, but this is genuinely brilliant fun. This second gear acceleration, let's see how hard it pulls. Obviously you don't lose any traction whatsoever. It just pulls straight and true, as you'd imagine for four-wheel drive. Brakes are also immense. They're quite heavily servoed, I would say, compared with like my Porsche. And the gearbox, really nice to use. Like, I'm very much an automatic kind of guy. I don't like manuals so much, but this manual is just joyous to use. You can change gear so quickly. And to say I've never driven this car before, I don't think I've ever driven a Yaris before. It's very easy just to get into and just drive it really fast. Go for another overtake. Whoa. It is genuinely like driving a little rally car on the road. It's just fabulous. You just feel as though you can plough into corners at pretty much whatever speed you want. It's unreal. And fun fact about the Yaris GR, so most people look at it and think this is just a regular GR, bigger engine, maybe a few body styling tweaks, but actually the Yaris GR only shares its headlights, rear lights, and I think he said boot lid with the regular Yaris. The rest of it is bespoke, and that includes the doors. So these doors are actually pillarless, no metal work around them, just pieces of glass, and it looks great for that. But yeah, it's a totally bespoke car that was designed to do some rallying, but obviously never ever did that. So it's almost like a homologated rally car without doing any of the rallying stuff. Still pretty cool. Well, this car has been absolute joy to have a go in. What an experience to be able to drive one of these on the roads around here. It is one thing I've said about YouTube, which has been the best thing for me, and it's been given access to cars like this. The opportunities that YouTube has brought me in just my short time of being on it has been incredible. So, as you can hear, this car sounds just incredible. I don't even know what to say. I'm having so much fun in it. It's hard to put into words. Every review you read about these cars is true. I don't think I've ever driven in a car such a short amount of time and felt so in tune with the car, felt so attached to it. There's not many cars out there. Porsches, for me, are one of them. I think with some of the Porsche sports cars, I do feel like you get into them and you feel like you're putting them on, rather than getting in it. And this is another one. So I can totally see why James has this as his second car. He has a GT3 and a Yaris GR. Now, that is a pretty good combination, because you're not going to get in this and think, oh, I wish I was in the GT3. This thing sounds absolutely nuts. And the speed of it, I'm genuinely shocked. A 3-cylinder engine with only 260 horsepower, I think. It's the weight. There's just no weight to it. Absolutely no weight, which means it doesn't need a lot of power. And what power it does have, it deploys it onto the tarmac. It's incredible. There's no words to describe how good this is. If any of you get the opportunity to have a go in one of these, do it. Do it, because it's by far the best hot hatch I've ever driven, possibly one of the best cars I've ever driven in my life. Beats a Golf R hands down. I think it looks better, it sounds better, and it certainly goes better. It's way more interesting and it's just fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And it just never, ever gets boring, that's the thing. Well, what a drive that was. This car is absolutely unreal. And on the way back, it did really occur to me after I'd stopped pressing record that this is probably one of the best cars I've ever driven. And that is not an exaggeration. I think this Yaris GR is not only better than my Porsche, it's better than mostly all the hot hatches I've ever driven before. And I think if I was to swap my Porsche for a Yaris GR, I don't think I would be disappointed. Yes, I would miss out on that flat six noise, but I can totally see why these have got the review they have. I can only add my compliments of the car to the already extensive reviews online saying how wonderful it is, because every single one of those reviews is right. This is unreal. It's something else. It's one of the best cars I've ever driven, and I would absolutely love to own one. James is extremely lucky having this as his second car alongside a GT3. I think that combination is perfect. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's made a bit of a change from the usual Porsche content, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this and seeing my thoughts on this amazing Yaris GR. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.